Hello and welcome to Horror Fanatic, the podcast that helps you find new, emerging, and undiscovered horror podcast content. I'm Greg, the host and curator of Horror Fanatic. If you are a horror fanatic, click that subscribe button now. This episode is a podcast feature episode. If you like the creator, check out the episode notes for links to subscribe. Today's episode is from Sun and Shadows. Jeff and Kev talk about canceled genre TV series on this stellar podcast. It's a podcast to remember. All right, let's get this show started.
Begin.
Heidi fucking ho, boys. Miss me?
And welcome back to Suns and Shadows cast. We're kicking off Evil Dead month with a great interview. Then we're going to be talking movies. We're going to be talking video games. Buckle up, bitches. It's time to get filthy and fine. Grab your boomsticks. It's another round of Evil Dead. My name is Jeff, otherwise known as El Jeffe.
And I'm your powerful vagina, Kevin Smith.
We got Will. Say hi, Will.
Hey, guys.
And hey, wait a minute.
And I'm Dana DeLorenzo, a.k.a. Kelly Mother Maxwell from Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yep, we've been party crashed, everybody. We got Dana with us today.
Who's bringing the pink? Wait, am I allowed to? I need to know going into this. I should have asked you this in the last 10 minutes we were talking before recording. But what is your rating here? Is it G? Is it PG-13? Is it
X?
Fucking great.
Bring it.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. It was great to have you on, considering we kicked off our podcast with Ash versus Evil Dead. And before the show, as we were just talking, you listened to a couple of our episodes and you had some extra insight that Kevin and I touched on and had some questions about. And what did you think about some of those?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I got to be honest. I love talking about the show. If I'm invited to an interview or a podcast, I love getting the chance to meet fans, especially because over the pandemic, one small good thing, I suppose, or thing that came out of it was that it found a whole new audience while everyone was sitting home. And so many people didn't know about it that actually were fans of the franchise, which I don't know how that happened, but they didn't. And so getting, to do all of those things is that getting to talk to fans is like my therapy. I love talking to people about the show. This is something that means a lot to me, the show. Not a day goes by that I'm not grateful and realize how lucky I am to be a cast on the show. But so where I'm going with that is I don't, though, at this point, this far beyond, I don't seek out. And even during the show, I never sought out podcasts or what people were saying about us because it just can be bad situation. But I don't know, coincidentally, too many things had to happen that I happened to see your tweet, which I don't always do. I don't always look on Twitter. I don't look on social media, period. So the fact that I saw it, I happened to see your tweet. I don't know what compelled me to click on it and actually start listening. But I think I was home at the time and I was sick and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go clean up and put this on in the background for fun. I missed the show. Why not? I'll see what these guys have to say 3 years or whatever. What is it? 4 years after the fact, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I got sucked in. You guys were so great. And there were things that I was like, duh, no, his name is Ball, not Bill. His name is Ball. Like things that was like talking to you. And then I'm listening to your insights. And I've heard a lot, honestly, been interviewed a lot. I've heard a lot. And your insights were so astute. And so they had thought behind them in a way that, like, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but you really kind of hit a lot of the stuff on the head. And so I reached out to you, El Jeffe, and I was like, I never do this, but hello, would you like to talk to me? Because I'd like to talk to you because I just think you guys are great. And I know that it's hard doing a podcast. I know it's hard getting it off the ground. I was, by proximity, honored that you guys did Ash versus Evil Dead for the first two. And it looks like you've been having a lot of success with it. So I'm happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And here we are. Yeah. See what I mean, guys? I don't stop talking.
You're in good company for that, so that's fine.
Yeah, but when you guys talk, you do end sentences at some point.
We try to.
I don't. So I've given you, I'm going to just tell the people listening. So for all of your listeners. Hey, by the way, guys, subscribe because these guys are taking the time. They have other, things in their life and they're taking the time to do this. So make sure you subscribe, listen, check them out. They're good guys. And I hope you're good guys. If you guys have murdered people, now's the time to tell me.
My cats say I'm good.
Pets you can murder. Humans you can't. Okay. Anyway, good luck editing me because it just will never end. And if I'm too loud or too soft, let me know. I'm never going to be too soft. So that's okay. But hi, so I'm happy to be here. And that's what I have to say.
I am honored and I truly feel blessed. That was probably the nicest thing anyone's ever said.
Oh my God, calm down.
I know, Kevin. Chill it out.
I'm sorry, we don't usually get compliments like that.
It's not a fucking compliment. It's just the truth. Look, here's where Kelly and I are very similar. I also then sort of slip into Kelly because I like to keep the illusion that I'm cool like her because I'm fucking not. I'm so not. But anyway.
Filthy but fine. Wasn't that it?
Filthy and fine. Yep. But I love it. You got it. Bruce always made sure to emphasize the and he even told Lee Majors, that's we can get into that if we want to, but like it was, I don't know if he told him, but it was like became a thing of like, you can't say filthy and fine. It's filthy and fine. I don't know. It's just, oh God, I don't know. God, Bruce, I love that guy.
Filthy and fine.
Because it was like, I think it was underlined in the script, like it
was very accentuated.
Anyway, yeah, exactly. But it does have a good ring to it when you say it that way. Filthy and fine, as opposed to filthy and fine. That's a little too boring. You got to hit the filthy.
Yeah.
And then you mention the fine, but the filthy. But yeah, one thing that I'm like Kelly is we're no bullshit. I'm going to tell you like it is, whether you like it or not, sometimes to a fault. So really, I have nothing to gain by lying to you and puffing smoke up your ass. I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe I just also maybe you guys are terrible and I just haven't listened to anything about the show for a while. I'm going to go ahead and stick with my first answer though, because I really liked the nuances and just things you picked up and the things you had to say. And you same like you guys, you were honest and you were fair and you had your opinions. And I love hearing that. I love that.
Yeah, we had much disagreement about the Brandy character and that whole storyline, and I felt like you're just kind of off to the side, and that's where Kevin and I pretty much agreed. But I also liked the actress who played Brandy, so I felt kind of like in between on how to feel about that whole situation because it felt like that was somebody else's storyline to us.
Interesting. Yeah, I heard you say that, and for what it's worth, Ariel Carver O'Neill, my Australian little sister, I like to call her. We are very good friends. We became like that. She took everything like a champ. She was such a pro, and she's pretty much the sweetest fucking human being on the planet. There's not a bad bone in that girl's body. She stayed with me for months out here because she lives in Australia. And so, because we shot the show in New Zealand, because when you think Elk Grove and Jacksonville, you think fucking the most beautiful place on earth. But I win. That we win. It's because Rob Tappert and Lucy's a Kiwi. She's from there. So Rob Tappert and Lucy live out there. And so that's where we got to shoot the show. But so anyway, I actually just talked to Ariel, and I don't think she would be upset with me for saying that one of the things we bonded over, I would say, was exactly what you guys just said, so you can feel conflicted, because I think it was her first who said what was kind of obvious to everyone, like just to me. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but we were struggling with a scene, and it was I think it was episode 4, season 3, where it was just two damsels in distress, which definitely wasn't Kelly. What are we going to do? I guess we just wait for Ash. We just sit here and we wait and it just felt so not right. And same for Brandy. Even as a high school kid, she wasn't stupid like Ash. She really wasn't. Ash is stupid. He's a hero, but he can be a dummy. Well, let's be honest. He doesn't think things through. And she said, I think I actually called her. I'm like, do you think, because if you ever had suggestions or needed to write, maybe talk to the writers, you could. And this was a different showrunner, as you guys know. And so we were both struggling, and it was a big scene. And so we talked. I called her the night before. It's like, do you think we can? I just had some ideas. Maybe I'd run them by you. And she was like, oh, thank God, because this feels just a little bit not. Definitely not you, and a little bit not where I thought my character was going. And but it was just in the verbiage. It wasn't that it wasn't there. I don't want to shit on the writers. It was just the way things were set. So I think we bonded over the fact that it did feel like Kelly's role, or a female role, was split into two, and therefore neither really got to flourish.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You guys hear that playing?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Helicopters here in Hollywood every day. There's a high-speed car chase right there. High-speed car chase.
When I lived in Riverside, we used to call them the ghetto birds.
No, I know that phrase.
I remember that from San Diego when I lived there.
I mean, what is the ghetto anymore? I almost feel like that's derogatory. I just call them the birds that are fucking loud. That's what I call them. The fucking loud birds that love to come around when you want it to be quiet, when you're recording, or when you're trying to sleep. That's it. That's the best. It's like they have a sense for it. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You lived in Riverside, so you get it.
Right next to the freeway. It was awesome.
Oh yeah.
It was never quiet.
I had a high-speed car chase, like a crash on the end of my block recently. Like, okay, why? Okay, in the broad daylight. Okay, anyway, enough about that.
What was it? Our last episode where there was a shooting while we were recording?
When you were at the hotel.
It was at the haunted hotel. There was a shooting just down the street.
Where was that?
In Wolf Creek, Oregon. We were covering The Exorcist. And so I was staying at the Wolf Creek Inn, which is supposedly really haunted.
That's why there was a shooting.
Yeah. I mean, it was just too far away. Like,
oh, really? I mean, have you not seen?
Well, not too far.
Have you not seen how the evil force, how the Kandar moves?
Damn right.
Ironically, it wasn't a trailer park. So yes.
Well played.
I could not make that shit up.
Well played. But so anyway, and no disrespect, because I just want to say, like, the writers really, you have different, it was just a lot going on. But at the same time, I do feel like everyone made it work and we did our best. But you can't rip the curtains off at the last second and be like, oh, we're doing this now. When you're kind of building to something, it just takes a little bit more time, I think. But luckily, Ariel was such an amazing person to work with, and we were able to just immediately gel, just kind of like everybody on the show. And I think that we at least tried to offer, what everyone just tried to do their part to continue the story. And really, at the end of the day, it ain't about us. It's about the guy. It's about one guy. It's about Bruce. We all there was no sidekicks for 30 fucking years. So I'm just happy that I still was even in the show, to be honest, because you never knew. I personally, every episode the first episode, very first one, they never told us we were going to die. You didn't find out until you did the table read, which is during lunch while you're shooting the prior episode. Mm-hmm. And so you're reading it the Thursday or Friday before you start shooting on Monday, and you're just seeing what's happening with your character. It's not like you don't know anything.
Oh shit, Ruby stabs me. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow. How much blood is getting dumped on me tomorrow?
Oh yeah, that was no, they never. You really never know, because it doesn't say in the script really all the time, if I recall. Like, for example, I had 26 gallons on me. Actually, it's probably closer to 30, but we're going to go with 26. Exactly that. And I know because I asked, which is 85 liters in New Zealand. So I Googled it and it was 26. When the opening episode 1, season 2, in the bar scene, which you guys loved and talked about with Ash and the chainsaw and everything. When I run to save the bar, the barkeep, like the owner, whatever of the bar, and I go shoot it in its head. And then the girl, the deadite jumps over. He's supposed to have got his hands caught in not a blender but something we couldn't see, but I was told, I'm like, what is happening that I'm getting all this blood? And they're like, oh, I forget what it is. And I worked in a bar for 17 years. Or not 17, but like I've worked since I was 14 in service. I should know what this thing was called, but like, whatever it was, it chopped his fucking arms off, right? As you saw me fall back with him. And just doing that take, and then that rest of the day and doing it a few times and then going with the axe. I saw these massive like kegs, these massive keg looking things. They were kegs, they were massive of blood. They're vats of blood. And that was the beginning of season 2. I mean, I had already had my fair share, but I was like, oh, this is new. But you always know when you walk onto set and everything's covered in plastic and 2 cameras, there are guys suffocating in there because they're in a tent of plastic and everything's covered in plastic, because we have to go to those sets later. You can't completely cover in blood and then have to, it's just, you know what I mean? Or we might be shooting right after this, a scene that's before blood. You don't shoot in order, you know? We did with Sam Raimi for the first episode, which was amazing. Never did that again. Cause you don't in this business, you just don't. So I asked the head of the one of the art department girls, and I said, just curious, how much blood is that for today? And she's like, oh, that's not for today. That's for you. I said, for this? I was like, no, I got, no, not all. And she's like, yeah. And it just deadpan. And I was like, hey, well, if you had to guess, how much was that? And she's like, I know exactly how much it is because I had to make it all.
Oh,
5 liters just on me. So the fact that in season, where were we going with that? Something like where were we going? Where was I going with that? There was a reason. You said something.
Oh, I was joking about looking to see how much blood was going to get sprayed on you the next day.
There we go. There's your answer. Yeah, no, you don't know that in a script. All it said in there is Kelly jumps to save the bartender and falls backwards with his arms.
With his arms.
Oh, parentheses, 85 liters get. So yeah, it was, you happen to know exactly once you do it. Once you're there on the day and you see all the plastic.
welcome to the set of a horror production, let alone Evil Dead initiation style.
Exactly. And you know what? I miss it. I never thought I'd say that. I miss it. You do, because you just do. I don't know. I'm uncomfortable now not being covered in blood and guts and viscera. Really am, honestly. So I'm like,
We need to get you back into another horror franchise or back into Evil Dead.
yeah, dude, I'm in.
That's funny because I was going to ask if you were excited when you found out how much blood it was.
No, it was always exciting because you know it's going to be fun. You know it's going to look good. You know it's going to be cool. Nobody loves getting that on them. Nobody. Nobody. You feel it's a thing of like, okay, let's put it this way. You like, what did we used to play as kids? Like water balloons.
Ooh.
You know that when you get really smacked with a water balloon that either does or doesn't break. I mean, I've honestly had black eyes from broke water balloons as a kid. Yeah. But yet you still play it because like, you know, it's going to hurt, but it's going to be fun. It's going to look, it's going to be awesome. So like, yeah, because here's the other thing no one tells you. No one talks about it. Why am I the only one? I said, I'm like, it's not sticky. It's sticky the first 5 minutes.
Oh.
And then it turns into a wax where like not a wax, but that's the best thing I can say. It dries and it dries, but it is all in every orifice, whether you're a man or a woman. It's in your pants, it's in your underwear, it's in everything. So then when it dries, imagine a wax. Have you ever tried to wax? Have you ever tried to rip off duct tape that's been on there baked like forever? You just so you're covered. Okay, it dries. And then someone's like, oh, hey, Dana, we need you on one. And you go, okay. And you go, your shirt is ripping your skin, the blood, like all of it, because it's like now attached to you. So just turning your neck. And so here's the genius behind it. I think it was part of Sam Raimi's plan. Because what happens? You beg to be covered in more blood so you stay wet.
He's a clever guy. He's got a thing or two.
I'm on to Sam Raimi. He's a very clever guy.
All right, Bruce, stop complaining over there too.
No, Bruce deserves to complain because when I tell you what, when I was because I got, Kelly kind of got the shit kicked out of her quite a bit. When I was in that blood tank season 1, that was not CGI, FYI. I think you guys thought it might have been CGI where the blood comes out of the walls.
Wow.
No, that was a literal blood tank.
Cool.
Damn.
And I didn't ask how many gallons, but I definitely, that was, and it was deep. Like it was, and they had to have a guy in scuba gear underneath for safety, even though I can swim, but in case something happened, because I was basically in this ice cold water all day, and it has to be ice cold. Otherwise the camera fogs. Fun fact, the rain, ice cold, 35 degrees. Yeah, it's exciting. I wear it as a battle scar now, where I'm like, yeah, except when you are supposed to be a badass and they're like, and action. And you're like, I'm coming for you. And they're like, you can't look that cold. So then you would have your shoulder because your lips shivering, everything. And then they were like, and action. And so a lot of times if you ever hear me go, that's because I'm fucking freezing. There's a lot of times where Kelly is just going, because, sorry, I just realized this is an audio. It's an audio, guys, awesome. for the auditory part of this. My shoulders are being shoved down because in order to shove your shoulders down is how you don't look cold. And you shove them down, but in order for me to shove them down and keep them down, I had to battle cry a not cool Xena battle cry, but and my mom's like, you scream like an old man. Why? I don't. Anyway, but yeah, so I asked Rob Tapper, so did I get in some Evil Dead Hall of Fame? Because that was first episode as well. Oh my God, it was. And went with a blood tank. I was saying they had a scuba diver underneath in case I hit my head and died, drowning. So, but it was definitely cold, and you're in there all day. And I said, so do I? With all that blood coming in and everything, and I said, am I at least somewhere in the Evil Dead Hall of Fame? He goes, no, and walked away. And I said, come on, I'm not even third place. And he said, no. I said, well, then who's the first top 3? And he's like, Bruce. He's like, because he had 400 gallons of blood in Evil Dead 2. 400 gallons.
The king, baby.
I think in a scene at some point, I had 26 in that one moment alone of not the blood tank, just the barman's arms, just that moment and the hacking of the Deadite. I said, Bruce, I will take all the blood from now on. You have paid your dues. You're done. He's done. We're done. And then Brandy came along, and it was like, oh, good. Someone else to take the torture. And Dalton and everybody else. People took it like a champ. Actually, the Deadites get it the worst, to be honest. They get it the worst. They get it the worst. Don't get any glory. They're covered in it all day.
And they've got contacts on their eyes, and that can't be fun either.
The Deadites, they are more terrifying in person, believe it or not. I couldn't eat. Yeah. Deadite Mrs. Johnson, the very first one. Mm-hmm. Sweet old lady. I wouldn't say old lady. She's a sweet lady. I'm in, now mind you, first one. And we're in and I don't even know what the hell I'm doing half the time. It's the first episode. Sam Raimi, everybody. And we had just started her scenes and the trailer, and then it was lunch, or she had done whatever her bits. All of a sudden, oh God, how do I describe this? So you know what the Deadites look like with the white eyes, and if you know what Deadite Mrs. Johnson looks like with the they had the prosthetics on, and they're sitting in those chairs for 4.5 hours, and then 2.5 hours to get it off because it's glued to their face. Wow. So you can't just rip that off your face. They have to go with Q-tips and alcohol. I just want to say, no one's complaining. This is what we love to do, but I am personally, because I'm a little disappointed I never got to be a Deadite, though grateful I got to be possessed with that fucking Elagos in season 1 in episode 5. That was a lifelong dream. But I was the only one who didn't get to be a Deadite. And I really wanted to be, and I was mentally preparing myself. And I have to give them so much credit. Those Deadite, any actor that's ever played a Deadite ever, and especially like you guys were touching on with Cheryl and Henrietta. I mean, Ted Raimi almost died both times. Like, I still give props to the unsung heroes who are the special effects people and the makeup, artists who are there at 2 a.m, putting them in makeup so we can be ready by 7 a.m. Day after day. Anyway, so but Dead Eye Mrs. See, I digress. Dead Eye Mrs. Johnson, sorry, cafeteria, the first episode, walking through, and I know that this actress can walk. She's fine, but she's walking like little baby steps, like she's 90, and 2 people are like holding her sides, her arms, and I'm like, oh God, is she okay? And they're like, oh yeah, she's fine. She's just blind. She got the contacts in. Those scleras are hard, and your entire fucking eyeball. That's what's his name had to Jim Carrey had to do for the Grinch. I had to get fitted for them just in case. Holy shit. They gave me the black ones, which were not hard, and they weren't even full scleras when I was the demon. Wow. Dude, you're completely fucking blind. So even when Mimi Rogers did it, they would have to lead it. So now you're on set in the mise-en-scene of it all, even if you fucking know you're the actor in it. And all of a sudden, Dead Eye Mrs. Johnson, I couldn't sit down. She's sitting across from me with her white eyes, like, so how is it going, dear? I honestly, I started thought I was going to throw up, and I said, I'm so sorry. And I'm a horror person. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so terrified by you. And she's like, oh, I'm so, shall I move? I'm like, no, I just can't eat this asparagus right now. So I don't want to be rude, but you look so terrifying and you're so good. And your voice is really scary for this part, and it's very good. And okay. So then I had to leave. Same with Mimi Rogers. They had to walk her on a set in that spooky dark lighting where she's saying goodbye and turning back into my mom, non-dead. And she comes out and she's like, you can't see. So she's like, hello, where is she? And I'm just like, oh God, I'm right here. And then they had to put her onto my shoulder so I could guide her. I was like, and Mimi Rogers, lovely. This actress, Miss Dead Eye Mrs. Johnson, lovely, lovely actors, just like you and me, just like normal people. Terrifying in person. Terrifying.
Are all of the Deadites blind then?
If you see them having white eyes, which I'm pretty sure all of them are.
They all had to wear them, it looked like to me.
From what I understand, yeah. If they're wearing the legit, I think once they do their coverage, meaning the camera's on them, I think they put in soft ones so that they could see through, so they could do the action for our coverage,
Okay, that's what I was going to say. That is amazing if they could do that all blind.
Yeah, no, but everything they're doing is the blind,
right.
Especially when it's close up. Maybe it's not when it's far. I don't know, but I'm just telling you, I can't speak to it. I guess I've never been one, but that was nuts. That was nuts. I hate those fucking deadites. I hate them all. I want all the deadites to be deader.
Hey, we're trying to do that in the video game right now.
You're what?
We're trying to do our damage in the video game right now that's currently out. I'm playing Kelly all the way through, so I'm trying to rank up that blood count for you.
Ghost Peter fist bump.
Peters.
Ghost Peter fist bump. What'd you say? Wait, we'll do it together. Let's beat this to this fucking.
I'll be the kiss ass and say I'm already.
Come on, my powerful vagina. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Ghost Peters.
That's right.
That was so off timed. I hope you keep it exactly like that.
Oh, I will.
Amazing. Wait, but a powerful vagina. What did Kev Smith?
Oh, I got my Kelly maxed out yesterday.
So meaning you're at 25?
I got her up to level. Yeah.
I'm halfway there.
The fuck is your problem, Al Jeffe? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Night.
Get it
That's all I get.
And I'm a stay-at-home dad, so it's like, well, I've got time to sit here and beat the shit out of people. So
do your kids see you?
My 3-year-old's like, this is fun.
Don't let your 3-year-old see that.
Oh, she's psycho. She is a psychopath. My daughter is the fucking Antichrist. I swear to
bringing
God.
up kids with horror genre.
Oh my God, don't see that about her.
I love her to pieces, but she is mischief incarnate. She's
sins of the father, right?
I'll tell people she's a Loki. And they're like, oh, okay. But if you say, oh, my kid's the Antichrist, they're like, oh, it's the same.
Because I just picture a little 3-year-old with her head spinning like,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm honored you guys are playing Kelly and the game. How do you guys like it? I know there's like everyone can find. I know there's the single player missions are hard and all of that, but overall, are you happy with it or not? I don't care. It doesn't affect me in any way.
Oh yeah,
I'm just curious.
I just played the tutorial a little bit before we got on here because I've been behind on everything this week as usual, and I loved it.
Okay,
nice amount of gore. I like the finishing moves, like the kill moves.
Yes.
I love that when they're in a game,
right?
and those are really nice. They're very appropriate for an Evil Dead franchise.
Totally. And I love that I have to admit, I'm with you, my friend. I actually haven't played it yet because mine is apparently still in the mail.
I was going to ask you about that at some point here too.
Nah, mine's on the way. Mine's on the way. It is, but and I don't have a console anyway, to be fair. I would bring it to my brothers or my friends. But I was a huge NES kid. Like
okay.
I'm 80s kid. So I used to crush some old school Nintendo with that left, right, up, down, ABBA, select start. I did some Contra. I did some Tecmo Bowl. Give me all the Marios all fucking day. The happiest day of my life, according to the one home video we have of Christmas. I think one year I was 9 and I got Super Mario Brothers 3 where he was the raccoon and the frog. And I was like, Mario 3. Cool. I got Mario 3. I was your daughter, apparently. I would not stop screaming that I got the game. And then I think my brother got Sega. So we played that eventually. And then I think when the first PlayStation came out with the joystick, I started sucking at video games, which I just couldn't handle. And I also was like, I don't know, I played a lot of sports and I was like, I'm not good at this anymore. And it's not fun because I keep the joy. I was so used to the Nintendo or even Sega, which had a little bit more resistance. Yeah. And sadly, that's why I don't play. And I love video games. So now I got to practice because, when you're used to going like bang. And then we spilled like juice on our controller. So it was always a little snack. You know what I'm talking about? It had that little crunch.
Yeah.
Crunch in the arrows.
It's like, go up. I can't go up instead because the high C we had. Anyway, so I am looking forward to playing it, but I admit I never understood Twitch. I never fucking understood right now at this point in my life why someone would want to watch someone else play a video game, because it brought me back to when I hated waiting my turn.
Yep.
If we were doing a single player and then it was, well, now my little brother has to do it but he sucks at it. And it's like, oh, if you're playing against each other, fine, but I didn't want to wait my turn.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get to play this game because I don't have it. So then I'm like, well, let me just, and same thing for the Dumpster Boys, I think is the Arch Knight. Same thing, how I found you guys. I stumbled on it randomly on Twitter and I was like, all right, I want to see what this whole thing is about. Because he said he was maining Kelly. I'm learning all these new words. All right. So I watched, and now you guys, I'm happy to say, I get it. I get it. Well, first of all, it's also because you can learn how not to be bad at it. Like, well, at least in theory. I feel like I'm going to be so good at this game. Yeah, no, I'm not. I just wanted to see, I haven't seen any of it. Like I went in, you go and record it in a booth alone for 4 hours, throwing a bunch of lines out and saying stuff. I didn't get to see what it looked like, other than what was out there, but like getting to see some of those Kelly finisher moves and everybody like Cheryl and getting to see like Pablo unlocked and all the ashes. I love the cars and how I know everyone's like, oh, the driving so hard.
It's not.
Yeah. Did you ever see us drive in our show? It was always fucking wild. At least in Ash vs. Evil Dead. I think that's why
it's
they
screen
did that.
accurate.
I love that. Exactly. Oh, because that's what Evil Dead is all about.
Yeah. Accuracy and consistency.
Accuracy.
I love the pink. I love the pink F. Yeah. And I love the Shemps, which I also love that it's G-rated. So I'm watching I've seen a lot of other people play that have never seen the franchise, which kind of blows my mind, but is also kind of cool. I'm naive. I didn't know that a ton of people, as many as I've seen, have played the game and they're playing the game on a stream for 6 hours. over and over with a lot of fans watching and have never seen the franchise. So like when they say something like, oh, I need a Schweppes. And I'm like, it's Schweppes. I love that it's Shemp's Cola instead of Shemp's beer. I love that it like no one knows what Pink F is. And I saw a conversation as well on Twitter that some guy was like, anyone know what Pink F is other than why is it good for our health or whatever on the game? The guy's like, I don't know what Pink F is, but I know Pink Funk has ketamine in it. Anyway, well, I hope you guys enjoy the game. I
certainly am myself, and I'm having a blast. I just wish I could get more time with work and the new house and everything. This is like the one clean corner I have in like the house. So I made sure I had like my that blanket up here and the one Joker thing my wife got me. So
I think you're doing great. This is also the one clean corner in my house. And I moved into, I don't have a house. First of all, I live in an apartment. I moved in 2 years ago. So it's my excuse. You're doing great. You know what? The fact that you can say you have a house means you're not wasting your life playing video games, which is what I'm about to go do for waste the rest of my life. Because I won't be good enough to have Twitchers. And so it'll just be me playing alone in the dark in my one good corner.
Well, we've been talking about wanting to do Evil Dead tournaments on Twitch soon. We've been trying to look into it.
Well, look into it and let me know. I have to practice first. Yeah. I'm not getting on there. I will watch you guys, though, if you guys do it.
Sounds good.
You do?
Sure.
Yeah.
I see the game behind you, too. I got it. I love the Evil Dead blanket. I got you.
Well,
all right.
Evil Dead 2 shirt. I wish there was a Ash versus Evil Dead one that was out there, but oh well.
There are a million Ash versus Evil Dead shirts.
If they were officially licensed and everybody got their royalty check, that would be a little more appropriate.
Yeah, well, that doesn't happen for
me. I
know. I don't.
Anyways.
It's adorable. It doesn't matter. You know, look, I'm not worried. People want to wear my face and make shirts. What an honor. So go, you can get that's why I'm always kind of shocked because I'm like, what's this shirt? I just would like, what? Can I have a shirt of my face with my two compadres on there? Like, I think that's cool.
Well, if you come to a convention in Phoenix, Will and I will come there and we'll be wearing a knockoff shirt so you can sign it for us.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so you do have a knockoff
No,
shirt?
I don't, but we will get one.
Oh, yeah. We'll make sure to find some.
Don't get a knockoff shirt for my son. Let's just go have a beer.
That works too.
I'm down.
We'll go look at the shirts together. Tell Phoenix to invite me and I'm there. I go wherever I'm invited because I love meeting fans. I just told you that. It's my therapy. It makes me feel good that people appreciated this. We were hoping we'd go for 5 seasons. It was downloaded illegally too much, unfortunately, but we got to have 3 seasons and we're all very grateful. Or I at least am I'm so fucking grateful every day. I love talking about the show with people like you and everybody who enjoyed anything about it. Even the morgue scenes that we can never unsee. So,
well, and speaking of the fans, where can everybody find you on social media? And is there any projects you'd like to promote coming up, or is that a?
Oh, you're sweet. On Twitter, I'm like it's going to be I am, but there's no apostrophe because it's Twitter. So it's at I'm Dana DeLorenzo, DE capital L motherfucks. Okay. I don't know why I got angry about that. It's fake. It's fake anger. But capital L motherfucks. And on Insta, that's also for Insta. I'm Dana DeLorenzo, and then Facebook is Dana DeLorenzo Official. And I got to do an original character for the 80th anniversary, this sounds so silly talk after Ash vs. Evil Dead, but I'm very, very excited and proud of it. I haven't seen it, but I'm just proud I got to be in it. And I'm on the cover of my character of the new Tweety Bird, the Tweety and Sylvester movie called, I think it's called King Tweety. And if you zoom in way in the back, one of the bad guys, I'm the big like German Shepherd Malinois. I think that's what it is. Cool. And I got to voice an original character in that movie. And it was a dream come true. So that's coming out June 14th. And then I got to produce and act in this other very fun movie called The Disappearance of Toby Blackwood, which is hitting the festival circuits right now and doing pretty well. But I don't know if that's going to come out. So I don't know if I should promote it, but keep your eye out for Disappearance of Toby Blackwood. It's going to be pretty. We filmed it during the pandemic, all individually. And then anyway, it's pretty epic. I'm pretty excited about it. Hey, I'm Dana DeLorenzo, and you're you. And these guys, well, they're them. And who are they? Well, you're listening to them. You're listening to the Suns and Shadows podcast. Subscribe and listen, or else.
Make sure you check us out on all our social media platforms. We got Facebook, Twitter. We are at Suns and Shadows. We're also on Instagram at Suns and Shadows Cast. We are at sunsandshadows.com. Thank you again, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.
Still not pronouncing my name right, El Jeff.
Dana DeLorenzo?
No, you have to do it or I'm not doing it. I'm going to talk.
Dana DeLorenzo?
Oh, good job.
Oh my God, it's a bad habit of mine. I see that and I'm like,
red I am for you. I'm so red. I'm sorry. I had to bust your balls one last time.
oh no, that's okay. Yeah,
I was like, do it or you don't.
That's going to be the stinger on this episode. Is you're making me do that. So
that has to be in here.
I am literally turning red for you.
I've read enough already. I've been saying it wrong for years.
Sweaty?
Thanks again for listening to Horror Fanatic by Indie Drop-In Network. If you would like to nominate a podcast for feature, just send me a tweet at Indie Drop-In. Indie Drop-In Network has many other shows you might enjoy. You can check them out at indiedropin.com. I'll put all the links at the bottom of the show notes to make it easy. All right, see you next time.